राम नारायण श्रीपती वासुदेव बाजित श्रीनिगे अच्युतानंत हे माधवा धोक्यज द्वारका नायक द्रौपदी रक्षक राक्षस क्षोभित सीतया शोभितो दंडकारण्यभू पुण्यता कारण लक्ष्मणीनन्वित वानरी सेवितो अगस्त्य संपूजितो राघव पातु मां धेनुका इष्टका निश्चक्रुद्वेषिया केसिया कंसरुदंसिका बाधक पूतना कोपका सूरजा खेळनो बालगो बालक पातु मां सर्वदा बालगो बालक पातु मां सर्वदा बालगो बालक पातु मां सर्वदा विद्युधोतवत्प्र स्फुरद्वाससं प्रप्रुढं बोधवत् पोलसाद्विग्रहं वन्यया मालया शोभितोरस्थलं लोहितात् मृगयं वारिजाख्यं भजे लोहितात् गृदयं वारिजाख्यं भजे लोहितात् गृदयं वारिजाख्यं भजे कुश्चिते कुन्तले भार्यमानाननं रत्नमौलिङ्गसङ्कुण्डलं गण्डयो हारकीजूरकं कङ्कणप्रोज्ज्वलं किङ्किणी मञ्जुलं श्यामलं तं भजे किङ्किणी मञ्जुलं श्यामलं तं भजे किङ्किणी मञ्जुलं श्यामलं तं भजे अच्युतस्याष्टकं जापठेद्दिष्टदं प्रेमता प्रत्यय पुरुषा सस्पृहं ब्रूततं सुन्दरं कर्तुभिस्वम्भरस्तस्य वस्यो हरि जायते सत्वरम् इति श्रीमद् शंकराचार्य कृतम् अच्युताष्टकं संपूर्णं। ओम अच्युताय नमः, केशवाय नमः, माधवाय नमः, गोपीवल्लभाय राधा माधव देवाय गोपाल कृष्णाय नमः, राधे गोविंदाय नमः, राधे गोविंदाय नमः, राधे गोविंदाय नमः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Translation: This song is composed by Adi Shankaracharya, known as Achyutastakam. It is a heartfelt Ashtakam, composition consisting of 8 stanzas of or verses dedicated to Sri Krishna, extolling his divine attributes and incarnations, particularly as Ram and Krishna. The Ashtakam highlights his infallibility, compassion, and powerful presence, praising his various names and forms. The verses not only celebrate Krishna's divine exploits and his role as the protector of his devotees, but also invoke his blessings for those who recite or chant it. Engaging with this Ashtakam promises a path to spiritual fulfillment, divine connection, and protection from worldly struggles. I bow to you, O Achyuta, the infallible, the Kesava, the slayer of Kesi. I worship you, O flawless Ram, the incarnation of Narayana and Krishna, the enchanter of hearts, known as Damodara, tired by Mother Yashoda's love. O Vasudev, Hari, the remover of sins, and Sridhar, bearer of Lakshmi, I adore you, O Madhava, consort of Mahalakshmi, beloved of the Gopikas, and Ramachandra, Lord of Janaki, I offer my devotion to you. I meditate upon Achyuta, the infallible one, Kesava, the supreme controller, the beloved consort of Satyabhama, Sripati, the consort of Lakshmi Devi, Sridhara, the bearer of Lakshmi Devi, the one worshipped by Radhika ji, the abode of Lakshmi, the supremely beautiful Devaki Nandana, the son of Devaki, and Nanda Kumar, the cherished son of Nanda. I bow to you, the Supreme Being, who is all pervading and ever victorious, the bearer of the Sankha and Chakra. I offer my salutations to you, the beloved of Rukminiji, the righteous consort of Janakiji, and the very life of Gopis of Vrindavana. O revered one, the embodiment of the self, the vanquisher of Kansa, and the enchanting Murali Manohar, I humbly salute you. O Krishna, O Govinda, O Rama, O Narayana, O Vasudev, O unconquerable one, O abode of splendor, O Achyuta, the infallible, O infinite one, O Madhava, O Adhakyaja, beyond the senses, O Lord of Dwaraka, O protector of Draupadi, bestow your grace upon me. Please bestow your grace upon me. I bow to you, O Raghava, the one who strikes fear into the hearts of Rakshasas, accompanied by the radiant Devi Sita, you who sanctified the land of Dandakaranya, journeyed alongside Lakshmana, and received the devoted service of the Vanaraj. O Lord, worshipped by sage Agastya, please protect me. O Palgopal, who destroyed the wicked demons like Dhenuka and Aristasura, and vanquished Kesi and Kansa, you, the divine flautist, who killed Putana and who frolicked on the banks of the Yamuna River, born from the rage of the sun, may you always protect me. I worship Sri Hari, whose yellow garments shine like lightning, whose body is resplendent like the monsoon cloud, whose chest is adorned with a forest garland, and whose lotus-like feet are of a reddish hue. I meditate upon the divine face of Shyam Sundar, adorned with curly locks, shining with a jeweled crown and beautiful earrings gleaming on his cheeks. His neck is embellished with a charming necklace, his arms with attractive armlets, his wrist with glowing bangles, and his waist adorned with a jingling waistband that produces a melodious sound. I offer my devotion to that captivating form of Shyam Sundar. The person who faithfully recites this beautiful and auspicious Achyutastakam with love and devotion every day will, by the grace of Vishwambara, Vishwakarta, Sri Hari, soon have the God himself captivated by their devotion and drawn by them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Over to you.
Thank you, Mataji. I welcome all the devotees to today's session. Charu Prabhuji has not joined, but he had warned me if he is not able to join, then I'll take the class. We'll start the class with the invocation prayers and recap. Let us see if he joins. Otherwise, I'll continue. In the beginning, let us have the Guru Pranam mantra and the other prayers. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं तो जीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। जयतां सुरतो पोङ्गर्मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्भोजो राधामदनमोहनौ दिव्याद् बृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमः श्रीमद्रत्नाङ्गरसिंहासनस्थितौ श्रीमद् राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवौ पृष्ठालिविषेभ्यमानौ स्मरामि। श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थित कर्शनवेणुस्वनिर्गोपीनाथ श्रियस्तु नः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। Now we'll offer our obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the six Goswamis of Vrindavan. नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नमने गौरतिसे नमः। O most magnificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Krishna Varnam Tisa Krishnam Sangopangostraparsadam Yagge Sankirtana Prayer Yajanti Sumedasa. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Nana Shastra Vicharana Kai Nipuno Sadharma Sangstapakau Lokanam Hitakarinau Tribhuvani Manya Saranya Karau Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajanan Anandena Mattalikau Bande Rupa Sanatana Raghujugo Sri Jiva Gopalakau. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the divine couple, Sri Radha and Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskutya Naram Seva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraят नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। With this, I welcome all the devotees to this session once again. Now, before we carry on with the class, that is lesson 10, let us have the recap of the previous lesson.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Seek blessings of Charu Prabhuji, Sharad Prabhuji, and all the assembled devotees. Danvat pranam to Dipti Mataji for such beautiful kirtan. And in the last class, our dear Archana Mataji presented lesson 9, wherein she introduced Srila Madhvacharya's philosophy to us. So let us get started with it. My first question from slide 1 is, what is the name of Sri Madhvacharya's philosophy?
Shuddha
Hare
Dvaita.
Krishna.
Yes.
It is Shuddh Dvaitvad, pure
Shuddh.
dualism.
Perfect. Shuddha Dvaitavad, pure dualism. Thank you, Rajkumari Mataji. Then he was absolutely against whose philosophy? Srila Madhvacharya was absolutely against whose philosophy?
Shankaracharya, Adi
Shankaracharya.
Ramanujacharya.
Yeah. He was absolutely against Shankaracharya's philosophy and also Ramanujacharya's. Madhvacharya came in which century?
13th century.
13th century. What was his philosophy called?
His philosophy was called Shuddha Dvaitavad.
Yes.
Or Tattvavad also.
Tattvavad,
Tattvavad. Why?
because it is a historical argument from a real viewpoint.
Correct. And what was the dualism he was talking about and showing with his fingers also?
Hare Krishna Mataji. So
Hare Krishna,
this is
Prabhu.
this is the contrast. Adi Shankaracharya brought that everything is one. God and us are one. So he changed everything. Narrative says there is no way we jiva as an individual soul and the God is the same. She says we are totally different and no common, nothing exists common between us. That was his Shuddha Advaitva.
Yes.
Dvaitva.
Correct. And how he would point it out?
By his
two fingers. The
By
fingers.
his 2 fingers. Perfect. And why was Sri Madhvacharya so strong? What made him so strong?
He was
As the incarnation
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
He was
of Hanuman and Bhima and
Bhima.
Vayu.
Vayu.
Okay. And Vayu, Lord Wind God. So
Mukhya Vayu. Mukhya Vayu.
Mukhya Vayu. So he was incarnation of Sri Hanumanji, Bhima, and Mukhya Vayu. That made him so strong. And then, in a sense, what were the core tenets of Madhvacharya's philosophy? 3
His 9
points. Yes, Mataji.
His 9
Harsha Mataji.
instructions, the concept of Ishvara and liberation through bhakti and
Yeah.
unto Lord Krishna or Vishnu.
Yes, that was his. That was the the core principles of his philosophy. Then Srila Madhvacharya was a critic of which 2 philosophies?
Keval Advaitvad and Vishisht Advaitvad.
Keval Advaitavad is of whom?
Shankaracharya ji.
And Vishisht Advaitavad?
Ramanujarya.
Ramanujarya. Okay. So let us go ahead. Where was he born? Srila Madhvacharya?
Udupi,
He was born
Udupi in Karnataka state,
Karnataka,
South India.
Actually, the exact place is
near Karnataka.
exact
Yeah.
place is Pajaka Kshetra. He was
Yeah.
born in Pajaka Kshetra.
Pachaka.
And to whom, Mataji? Who were his parents?
His parents, one was actually his father's name. They had 2 names.
Yeah.
But we know him as what?
Madhyageha Bhatta.
Madhyageha Bhatta. And his wife was Satyavati and also called Vedavati.
Vedavati. Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Now, to which god did the couple pray for? Because they were childless for a long time. So, to which god did they pray for the
Anantadev.
child? Anantadev. And so there was this Akashvani. What was this Akashvani? What was this uh, use? What did the Akashvani say when they were praying for to Anantadev?
That an incarnation of Vayudev will appear.
Will
in the
come as their child.
child.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. And what was the child's name? What was Madhvacharya's name?
Vasudev. Vasudev.
Vasudeva or Ananda Tirtha, he was named,
Ananda
right?
Tirtha also. Ananda Tirtha later on. But first, when he was a child, he was called Vasudev.
Vasudeva.
Later on, he became Ananda Tirtha and then Purna Pradnya, initiation.
Yes, perfect. Coming to that, why was he called Purna Patni?
Because he was knowing Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and Brahma Sutras. These three, that is
Yeah.
why he was known as Prasthana Preyi and Purna Preyi.
Because he knew Prasthanatrayi, right? He became famous with that. So what is Prasthanatrayi?
Bhagavad Gita and principles of Upanishads and Brahma Sutras.
So
These-
what did he do with this Prasthanatrayi?
He gives
He
the
gave-
commentaries.
He gave his commentaries. Perfect. And who was his guru?
Ved Vyasji.
Achyuta
Shri-
Preksha. Achyuta
Later,
Preksha.
before that,
Achyuta Preksha.
Achyuta Preksha. From which sampradaya?
Brahma Sampradaya.
Brahma sampradaya. And how many books is he credited with?
37.
37 in which?
37.
37 in Sanskrit.
Sanskrit.
Yes. What did he proclaimed himself to be?
Wind god or the son of
Incarnation
Vishnu.
of wind god, the son
Yes.
of Vishnu.
Yes. 1 second. How was his philosophy different from Keval Advaitavada? And how was his philosophy different from Adi Shankaracharya's philosophy? What was the main difference? Radha Vinod Prabhuji just mentioned.
Yeah, both are, Adi Shankaracharya says Jiva and Ishwar are same, whereas there's no dualities where he says they are totally different. So they are extreme to ends.
Yeah. So with what verse did Mataji explain? It is there in which Bhagavad Gita, which Charu Prabhuji also highlighted.
Relation
15.
between Jivatma and Supreme Reality.
Yeah. He said
Mama
that.
uchi Jiva loke.
Perfect.
Mama uchi
Yes,
Jiva loke
Prabhuji.
Jiva Bhutasana.
Jivata Sanatana.
Yeah.
Yes. Perfect. Okay. Then, how does his philosophy go beyond just theological debate? What does it explain? How does it is beyond just Shastra debate? How is his philosophy so strong and practical?
It has a metaphysical implication for nature of existence, the divine, and the purpose of human life.
Yeah. He says that Jiva Tattva is completely different than understanding of Jiva Tattva he is giving, then the understanding of Lord he is giving. And
Yeah.
then he further explains what is the purpose of human life. Okay. From whom did Madhavacharya accepted instructions?
From
Then.
Lord Srila Vasadeva.
And where did he go for that? Where did he travel to?
He traveled touring all over India.
Badri-
Uttar Badri.
He went to
Uttarbadri.
Uttar
And
Badri.
he went to his ashrama, see where it is today. He resides Uttarbadri ashrama.
And even today, Vyasadeva is there
It is
in
there.
Uttar
Yeah,
Pradesh.
he's there. Yeah, he's still there.
And who can visit
He's
Vyasadeva?
Only pure men. The person who was very
Sinless,
sinless.
sinful men.
sinless.
Beyond the
men.
reach of sinful men.
Yeah, he's away from sin and sinful people. And how did Vyasadeva receive him? Like when he saw him, what happened?
He embraced Madhavji.
Yeah. He was very happy to see him. He embraced him. And how many times did Srila Madhvacharya visit Vyasadeva?
2 times.
Twice.
Twice. And when he saw him, like in the 2 visits, how did Madhvacharya come to know? Like, how was the knowledge revealed? Like, was it face to face or?
He realized the mind of Sri Vyasdev.
Yes, from a distance only, he came to know what was there in the mind of Srila Vyasadeva. So, what did Srila Vyasadeva, how did he accept his commentary on Bhagavad Gita? When he saw Srila Madhvacharya's commentary on Bhagavad Gita, what did he say? Did he accept his
He
commentary?
say, even from a distance, sorry, because
Yes,
he is a
Mataji.
representative, he is pure representative, and he see that he is a perfect disciple,
Yeah.
reciproc
So,
succession.
yeah. So he accepted his commentary saying that it is absolutely perfect. There are no flaws in his commentary. And what did he then ask him to do? What was the
Instructed him
instruction?
to go and preach and write commentaries on books to save mankind.
Yes, perfect. So Madhvacharya then became the disciple of Sri Vyasadeva, not for his ambitions, but because he was a pure representative in the disciplic succession. So now let us come to the core, the 9-point summary of Madhvacharya's mission. So we'll come to this, a very important slide. In this, according to Madhvacharya, who is the highest and what verses prove that?
Lord Vishnu is the highest, absolute truth.
Lord
He is the
Vishnu
highest.
is the high. Yes. And Mataji also mentioned 2 verses, one from Brahma Samhita and one from Bhagavad Gita, to state that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Sarvasya chaham.
हृदिसन्निविष्टो मत्तस्मृतिज्ञानं पूर्णं च वेदेषु
Yeah.
सर्वे अहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृतेव विधेयः.
Yeah, perfect.
Ishwara
Then,
Param Krishna Anadi Radhe Govinda, right? So
yes,
Brahma
yes,
Samhita.
from Brahma Samhita. Thank you so much. Then we come to the second important point. How is Lord known to us?
By study of Vedas.
By the study of Veda, which is mentioned in this verse, Bhagavad Gita 15.15. How is the
Yes.
nature of material world? Is it illusion?
Real but temporary.
Temporary.
Yeah. According to Madhvacharya's philosophy, the world is real, but it is temporary, transitory. Then, very important theory, Bimba Pratibimba theory, how the Advaitvadis explain it and how did Madhvacharya explain it. Mataji explained it so nicely in the last class. Anybody remembers?
Yeah, so
Sorry, go on, Prabhuji.
yeah,
Go on.
okay. So when you look at you stand in front of the mirror, you see that image. So both talk different way. So
Yeah.
one philosophy, as he said, that the original image, when it changes anything, then we see the reflection. That means everything's origin from Ishvara.
Yeah.
That is what Madhvacharya believes. So Ishvara is supreme, we are getting from him. Whereas Adi
So-
Shankaracharya, yeah.
Yeah, so what happens in the mirror? Like when we see in the mirror, you see
reflection of
reflection. So
yeah.
why is the reflection different from the original? Because of what? Maya, no? Because of illusion. So they are saying if
Yeah.
the illusion is removed, then we will become him. Then there is no difference between.
The actual philosophy, Mataji, what they talk about. Original, from you are standing, so you are the original, and the reflection image you see is the secondary. That's image. So it looks the mirrors the same way. That is what Adi Shankaracharya said, that remove the mirror, so you are the same. There's
You
no
are the
difference.
same. Yes.
Whereas
Yes.
other says that the image, the source of that is the Ishvara. And if
Yes.
he changes anything, then only the reflection will change. That's my understanding, Mataji. Maybe.
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji, you're right. And but then what is Madhvacharya saying with the same theory? Bimba Pratibimba. What
You are
example?
different from the Lord. This is compared.
Different from the Lord, yes.
Different. And what analogy Mataji gave to explain?
Pratibimb of sun.
Correct. Sun being deflected
Well,
in different pots, different containers.
correct.
So we are absolutely different from Ishwar.
But we have to be careful on that also.
Yes.
This is the one time everybody should understand. One is the sun, different parts are broken, so you become again merged with them. That's another way of looking at.
Yeah.
So,
Correct.
and the third is again, comes up is the waves on the ocean, right?
Yes.
So we have to be careful with what context, who is referring to that.
Yeah, correct, Prabhuji. So we can be the spark of the sun, but
Correct.
not the sun. Okay, so according to Madhvacharya, what is the nature of Jivatma?
Jivatmas are servants of Lord Vishnu's lotus feet.
Lotus feet. And how does Madhvacharya serve in the eternal Vrindavan?
He served
Madhavi Gopi.
Gopi.
As Madhavi Gopi in Madhurya Rasa. Yes, thank you so much. Then how is conditional state and liberated state, like are all jivas equal or they are different? Jiva versus jiva, are they different types of jivatmas?
Condition and liberated souls are they are situated as a higher and lower status.
Yes,
but they remain always individual in their identity.
Yeah, they are not in the positioning. They cannot be always same. That depends on their state. Then what is the meaning of liberation as per Madhvacharya?
Service for
Attainment
Lord.
of Lord. Lotus feet.
Serving Lord Vishnu's
Serving
lotus
the lotus feet of
Yes.
Lord. No, it doesn't mean merging into the Lord. Then how coming to pure devotional service, should we seek moksha? What should be our goal?
No.
Service, devotional service to Guru or Vishnu automatically grants us
So
liberation.
what do we get? That is pure devotional service is bhakti, no? So what do we automatically get by doing bhakti?
It grants liberation.
Get liberation.
Liberation comes automatically. Yeah, so we don't have to run.
Requirement.
For sadhaka, liberation means seva.
Yeah, correct. We only have to concentrate on serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Rest comes automatically. And the last one, 3 pramanas. Radha Vinod Prabhu, would you like to say that?
Yeah, so this is a direct perception as you see or perceive from the senses. That's a direct, so which is not always true. Logic changes, time and circumstances. So that is the deduction process. Take some logic and that. And the last is the Vedic authority, that means coming from authorized source, like from Veda, and accept as it is. That is more authenticate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Pratyaksha Praman, Anuman Pranam, and Shabda Pranam. Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Then we come to the slide 6. How is Madhvacharya's Ishvara? How is he different from Shankaracharya's Ishvara?
Yes, Madhvacharya Ishvara is personal, active, and omnipotent.
Omnipotent. He is not like Brahman, like he's not attributeless. No,
He's a person.
he is a person.
Abstract and formless.
Yeah.
Personified.
Yeah, he's not abstract. He's not formless. He's a person.
The Sagun
Then
Sakar. Always the philosophy
Sagun
is Gun
Sakar.
Sakar, Nirgun Nirakar. That's how the words are coined with that.
Yeah. And also he's saying that Supreme Lord Vishnu is not just the creator, but he is
Yeah.
also the,
Sustainer.
he maintains,
Sustainer.
yeah, he's sustainer. Correct. Then in the Madhvacharya system, what does Lord Vishnu represent?
Vishnu
Highest
is
aspect
taking the
of
highest
divinity.
aspect of
Highest
divinity.
He is the
And all
highest
other
aspect of,
deities are subordinate to him.
Subordinate to him.
correct. He is different from other gods and he is different from impersonal conception of Brahman. He is the highest aspect of divinity. And he has these divine qualities, omniscience, omnipotence, and infinite. And he is the one who grants moksha to the individual soul. So without his grace, it is not possible. So that is Lord Vishnu's highest state as per Madhvacharya. Then according to Madhvacharya's philosophy, how is liberation attained? By what? By doing what shall one can get liberation?
Only
According to
Gnana
his
is not enough. We have to do loving devotional
Devotion.
services.
Bhakti.
Yes, bhakti.
So, is what is important in his philosophy, Jnana or Bhakti?
Bhakti
Bhakti.
is
Bhakti is Bhakti.
main. That
So,
Jnana is secondary.
Gnana is
Jnana is
also
not
important.
sufficient. Jnana is
it
not
is
sufficient.
important. Yeah, it is important, but not the first thing. What comes first is, what is the
Bhakti.
prominent thing?
Bhakti.
Bhakti. And what does Bhakti do?
It
Brings the
gains,
Jnana and
gives
Vairagya.
us liberation.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Both answers are correct. All right.
Only Gnana is also not working, and only Bhakti is also not working without Gnana.
Yeah, but in his philosophy, he is giving preference, the prominence to Bhakti first, and then Jnana. What does so then? What does Bhakti do? Like what exactly it does? How does it help the jiva attain liberation? By
Cleanses the jivatmas
yeah,
and the impurities are removed, false ego and ignorance, and then
yeah,
ultimately it leads to salvation or liberation.
salvation. Yeah. So only through Bhakti Marg this is possible. Okay. So now why was he so against, like he was, how against he was with Adi Shankaracharya and other schools, especially Adi Shankaracharya's school. What did he criticize them to be?
One point he criticized Shankaracharya on the basis the Shankaracharya philosophy is that there is no difference between Brahman and Atman. There is
Yeah.
only one Brahman. All are Brahman. And
and what did he accuse them of doing? Like, what was his accusation? What were they doing? What did he call them to be?
demons. They are demons.
Teaching Buddhism under the name of
Correct.
Vedanta.
Perfect. He was teaching Buddhism under the name of Vedanta. And for this, what text did he write specifically?
Upadhi.
Upadhi
Khanda.
Khandana, Upadhi Khandana, and Tatvodayata.
Tatvodayata. Yes. Now, what does in this Advaita philosophy is doing what? Like how does it explains? How did he criticize them? What was Advaita philosophy doing to Jivatma? Like, how did it destroy the Jivatma according to Madhvacharya philosophy?
undermines the
Display.
individuality of the Jivatma and distorts the
n-
nature of the
Yeah,
divine.
yeah. It distorts the nature of the divine. Further, what did he explain? Then according to Madhvacharya, then what is Jivatma?
They are to Jivata were to merge with the ultimate reality without losing his identity and essence.
Which is against the nature of Jivatma.
Against the nature of the Jivatma.
The eternal relationship with
Ah.
Lord is that of subservience and devotion.
Yes. According to Madhvacharya, Jivatma's eternal relationship with Lord Vishnu is that he is the eternal servant of the Lord and he has to serve the Lord with devotion. Okay, then we come to the last point, that he had a very moral and practical point of view, and he acknowledged that there is a difference between God and Jivatma, and that Dvaita reinforces the importance of humility. Because you are different, you are dependent on. So, very important point that he suggests, that God is independent and Jivatma is dependent on him, and due to that, what qualities develop in Jivatma? Due to
Humility,
dependence,
devotion and ethical living.
ethical living. That's it. So I stop here. We continue now with the
Thank
next
you. Wonderful
lesson.
recap.
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all
Mataji for
for
Good night.
wonderful
participation.
Wonderful recap.
Danvat pranam to Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. Charu Prabhuji has not joined. That's why we will start with the class. I'll share this slide. Today we will be talking about Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva that is propagated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This, we are little familiar with this, but in very great detail we will learn in these two sessions, today and next session. Now the foundational influence, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu integrated core principles from each of the four Vaishnava Sampradayas, Vaishnava philosophies, to present a comprehensive understanding of the Vaishnava philosophies. You see, the Vaishnava philosophy, it evolved from Shankaracharya's time, and there were a lot of apprehensions, a lot of confusions. They were eradicated, they were taken care of by some of the acharyas. But at the end, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he synthesized the whole thing. Philosophical integration, the two principles from each school, the four schools, we'll see them in detail, thereby enriching his own doctrine and emphasizing both unity with and distinction from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is same and different at the same time. In what respects, that we'll learn. Then the distinct philosophies, each Acharya presented unique interpretations. Each philosophy acknowledges the soul's relationship with Krishna, depicting it as both part of divinity and distinct entity. It is distinct, but it is part of the divine. Like we, the jivas, our body is material, but the soul is totally divine. And it is a spark of the Supreme Lord. It is qualitatively same, but quantitatively it is not the same. It is much less. Anu. Now, critique of Mayavad philosophy in very great detail we will see in 3-4 slides. Particularly the views of Adi Shankaracharya, which promote an impersonal understanding of God and reject the personal nature of devotional practice. Then, in conclusions, Mahaprabhu's Achintya Bheda Veda Tattva synthesizes the fundamental teachings of the four Vaishnava Acharyas. It promotes a rich and a relational understanding of divinity that is both inclusive and profound. In very great detail, we'll see this. And this synthesis not only highlights the core philosophical tenets of each school, but also illustrates how Mahaprabhu's teachings aim to encapsulate the essence of devotional practice within a broader framework of Vedic wisdom. How it is different from the others, and how he has synthesized all the four Vaishnava Acharyas' philosophies and made something different. We'll see the next slide. Now the foundational influence. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu integrated two core principles from each of the four Vaishnava philosophies. You will see this in greater detail. Like the first one is from Sri Sampradaya Ramanujacharya, Visishta Advaita Bada, that is, the Lord is alone yet always existing with his manifestations. The manifestations of the Lord have a separate existence as well. Now, the two things which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken from Sri Sampradaya or Ramanuja Sampradaya are unalloyed devotion, that is Ananya Bhakti, devotion free from contamination of material desire, that is karma, and knowledge, that is jnana. This is one point. The second is service to the Vaishnavas, Bhakta Jana Seva, the vital importance of serving the devotees of the Supreme Lord. As we know, the devotees of the Supreme Lord, they are at a higher position than the Supreme Lord himself. And the Lord has accepted this in very many places in Srimad Bhagavatam. Then we go to the next Sampradaya, Madhava Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya, Suddha Dvaita Vada or purified dualism. The two things which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken from them is the defeat of Mayavada, the absolute rejection of the impersonalist philosophy, and the second is worship of Krishna deity, Krishna Murti Sevana, the understanding that the deity form of the Supreme Lord Krishna is eternal, spiritual, and supreme object of worship. Like in Udupi, they worship the boy Krishna, that is the young Krishna. Then from Rudra Sampradaya, Vishnu Swami, Suddha Dvaitavad, anything related to him, either the material world is pure and God enacts pastimes, divine leelas that are transcendental as per his will. And Vishnu Swami, he worshipped whom? Lord Rama. Now, two things Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took from them. They are the dependence on Krishna, the sentiment of absolute surrender and exclusive belonging to the Supreme Lord Krishna. And the second thing, spontaneous devotion or raga marga, that is the path of spontaneous loving service rather than ritualistic awe and reverence. That is the difference. And the fourth, Kumara Sampradaya or Nimbarka Sampradaya, Dvaita Dvaitavada, there is difference and oneness of God with his manifestations. Matter or souls are not separate from him and belong to him. Now, the two things he took from this Sampradaya, they are the shelter of Radhika, the necessity of taking exclusive shelter under the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. And the second is Gopi Bhava, the high esteem and adoption of exalted mood of loving devotion exhibited by the Gopis of Braja. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he combined all these 8 things by taking 2 points from each of the Sampradaya, and he reconciled the distinctions taught by the previous acharyas into a unified philosophy of intimate, loving service to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. A word about Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. We'll be studying about this in great detail in this class. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he perfectly adjusted the Visishta Advaita Vada, Suddha Advaita Vada, Suddha Advaita Vada and Advaita Advaita Vada in his Achintya Veda Veda philosophy, stating that the soul is inconceivably, simultaneously one with and different from Krishna. It is same and different at the same time. This is his speciality. The soul is one in terms of quality, being made of the same spiritual substance, but is different in the sense of quantity and also in the sense of being eternally a separate individual. It can never merge with the Supreme Lord. It cannot be one with the Supreme Lord. That has to be understood. And the word achintya means inconceivable. It has got a very deep meaning, this word, stating that the conditioned soul can't ascertain the nature of the absolute truth by just mental speculation or philosophical debate. And to attain the truth, one has to go through the authority of Vedic knowledge transmitted in the disciplic succession by pure devotees. One has to thus understand the truth not by his own capacity but by receiving it from transcendental sources. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has emphasized the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam, establishing it as the natural commentary of the Vedanta Sutra. Now, the Srimad Bhagavatam in turn explains that all religious principles and the cultivation of knowledge, they culminate in understanding the love of Godhead, which is extensively described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And after studying Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, all the Puranas, if one has not realized this, then he has learnt nothing. Even Sri Vyasadeva himself was dissatisfied after compiling all the Vedic literature, Vedic knowledge, and seeing him in this desperate situation, his spiritual master, that is Narada Muni, he ordered him to write Srimad Bhagavatam. And he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam and later on taught that to his son, Sukadeva Goswami. And as we know, only by fulfilling the order of his spiritual master did Vyasadeva attain satisfaction. This proves that only by practicing devotional service without any motivations and without being hampered by material conditions, one can get true satisfaction. And this is the highest principle of spiritual understanding. Although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when young was fond of philosophical debate, as we have studied in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and there in Navadvipa he was recognized as a great Pandita. He changed after being initiated in the chanting of the Mahamantra by his Guru Maharaj. And instead of working to establish a sampradaya by writing his commentary on the Vedanta Sutra and challenging the representatives of other schools, he concentrated on delivering this pure love of Godhead to people and teaching them the ultimate object of the Vedas, the process of devotional service. By his personal example, the task of writing books describing the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy in detail was given to the six Goswamis of Vrindavana. Now, there are other points of difference amongst the other sampradayas that will not talk, but let us talk what Srila Prabhupada talks about this. Srila Prabhupada had the idea of writing Bhagavad Gita when he noticed that although there were thousands of commentaries of the Bhagavad Gita available in English, none of these commentaries had properly transmitted the correct meaning of Bhagavad Gita. And what about Srimad Bhagavatam? He wanted to translate this in English so that it is transmitted throughout the world. And nowadays, we frequently get involved in various battles, courts with various groups using sets of courts, which are not very correct thing to do. We should totally understand what our acharyas have told us about these scriptures. And one cannot understand the correct meaning of the Vedas without following the proper process. And this process is explained by Baladev Vidyabhusana in the Govinda Bhasya, which we'll be learning after this. Okay, the foundational experience, then the philosophical integration. He incorporated the understanding of divine service from Ramanujacharya, the philosophy of dualism from Madhavacharya, the balanced view of dualism and monoism from Nimbarka, and the notion of purified monoism from Vishnu Swami. And this approach revealed the fullness of Vaishnava philosophy, emphasizing both unity with and distinction from the Supreme. And this is what is the speciality of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, let us go to this slide. This is very, very important. Please understand what we have learned till now. The four Vaishnava philosophies by Ramanujacharya, Vishnu Swami, Nimbarkacharya, and Madhavacharya. Let us understand this, then we will dive into the Achintya Veda Veda Tattva taught by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, Ramanujacharya's Visishta Advaita philosophy, it means non-duality with distinctions and recognizes Brahma as the primordial quality while also acknowledging its existential multiplicity. It holds the belief that all diversity ultimately stems from a fundamental underlying unity. We'll study this in greater detail. Once let me read this slide, then I will explain all these things in greater detail so that you recollect what we have learned previously in the four classes regarding the four sampradayas, the four Vaishnava sampradayas, rather the four authorized Vaishnava sampradayas as given in the Shastras. In Vishnu Swami's Suddhadvaitavada or purified monoism, it emphasizes the oneness of the soul with God while recognizing their individual existence. And this form of monoism is purified or of illusion and ignorance, highlighting a clear personal consciousness that acknowledges both unity and distinct identity within the divine framework. And what about Nimbarkacharya? Monoism and dualism balances unity and differentiation, highlighting the dynamics of worship. And Madhavacharya's Suddhadvaitavada, purified dualism, that is, emphasizes the clear distinctions between the Supreme Lord and the individual souls. And what is the common goal of all these acharyas? Despite relatively minor differing viewpoints, all four schools converge on the idea that the goal of life is to attain prema bhakti with its emerging transformative potency. This is what is the aim of all the Vaishnava acharyas. Emphasis is on the eternal nature of Jivatman and the necessity of worship to overcome ignorance and bondage. This is very, very important. Let us go a little more what we have studied so far. Now, Visishta Advaitavada, critique of the Mayavadi philosophy, impersonalism and versus personalism, which was central theme for Ramanujacharya. He criticized the Mayavada philosophy by addressing the fundamental debate of relationship versus dissolution. And what he taught, Ramanujacharya asserts that the individual souls retain their identity and do not dissolve into Brahman upon liberation. This is what Ramanujacharya believes as opposed to what Shankaracharya's faith they propagated. Now, instead, he views the relationship between the individual soul and the Supreme Lord as one of service. To illustrate this, consider a daily ritual of a devotee performing morning prayers or offering flowers to the Supreme Lord. And this act, it is a simple act, but yet profound expression of devotion. And it carries the soul's unique identity with its service to the Lord, making the spiritual connection tangible. Now, what else about the material world? He characterized by temporary nature and is often subject to illusion. And what about bhakti? Devotional service is promoted as the goal of life, in contrast to the Mayavadis who focus on merging with the Brahman. These are some of the important things which Ramanujacharya said. Then the next came Keval Advaita Vada, that or versus Suddha Advaita Vada of Vallabhacharya. What he taught essential monoism, that is, Vallabhacharya's philosophy taught that a purified non-dualism, whereas the Jivatman and the Supreme Lord Krishna share an essential oneness, qualitatively but not quantitatively. This is exactly what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. And fire spark analogy he gave, saying that like fire and its sparks, the sparks are distinct yet fully embody the essence of the fire. This is what is the relationship between the soul and the super soul. And the nature of the individual Jivatman, the individual Jivatman is not seen as separate from Brahman, but as a part of it, and it possesses the attributes of the Supreme Lord, and most importantly, the Anandamaya, and that is often imperceptible. And he also gave the example of Saint Lude, saint analogy. The Jivatmans embodies both agency, that is the doer or Saint Lude, and enjoyment, enjoyer, saint. And unlike Kevala Advaita Vada, Suddha Advaita Vada acknowledges Maya is a real manifestation of Iswara's power, integral to the universal existence. Now then, next about Nimbarkacharya's what he taught. He taught what is the nature of reality. Nimbarka's philosophy presents a unique framework where duality, that is Dvaita, and non-duality, that is Advaita, they coexist with each other. And this perspective asserts that while the conscious, that is the Chit, Jivatman, and the material universe, that is Achit, they are distinct entities. They are fundamentally united in their essence with the Brahman. And to give analogy, he said that consider the relationship between the ocean and its waves. Each energetic wave has the distinct shape and form, but still it is part of the ocean only. And about Chit and Achit, he said, Chit and Achit are different forms of Iswara in the sense that they have attributes, that is the guna, and the nature. Nature is Swabhava, which are different from those of Iswara. And according to Nimbarka's philosophy, the relation between Brahman on the one hand and the Chit Jivatman and Achit universe on the other hand is a relation of natural difference, non-difference. And Nimbarka equally emphasized both difference and non-difference as against Ramanuja, who makes difference subordinate to the non-difference. Please understand these subtle points. Then what about Madhavacharya, what he taught that we learned in the last class? While the Kevala Advaita Vedanta is articulated by Adi Shankaracharya, argues for the oneness of the Jivatman with the supreme reality, Madhavacharya's Dvaita philosophy presents a contrasting view. According to Madhavacharya, the world is characterized by absolute duality. There is a fundamental distinction between the individual Jivatman and the Supreme Lord Iswara. And for Madhava, the individual soul and the God are eternally separate entities. And the various things we discussed today, the 9 things. And with this, let us go on to the next slide. Okay. The critique of Mayavada philosophy. You will see all these points: the misinterpretation of Brahman, denial of individuality, illusion and reality, worship and devotion, philosophical contradictions, misinterpretation of scriptures, and final teachings and intentions. Now, in conclusion, Mahaprabhu's Achintya Veda doctrine synthesizes the fundamental teachings of the 4 Vaishnava Acharyas. It promotes a rich and rational understanding of divinity that is both inclusive and profound. And how it is that we'll learn about it in greater detail in today's class. And this synthesis not only highlights the core philosophical tenets of each of the 4 Vaishnava schools, but also illustrates how Mahaprabhu's teachings aim to encapsulate the essence of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Prema Bhakti, within the broader framework of Vedic wisdom. Go to the next slide, the critique of Mayavada philosophy, misinterpretation of Brahman. Qualitylessness. What they say, the Advaitavadis, the Shankaracharya's sect, what they say, the Supreme Lord, he is qualityless. He does not have any quality. Now the critic argues that Mayavadins, followers of Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya's impersonalism, claim that Brahman is formless. He has no form and he has no qualities also. He is formless and qualityless, which undermines the Vedic understanding that Brahman do possess potencies and attributes. More of it actually we will be seeing this in the Govinda Bhasya. Things will be very, very clear. That our Vedic literature, they say that the Lord has a lot of potencies and lot of attributes, but the difference is that they are all transcendental. They are not material. That is the only difference. And this understanding, supported by primary Upanishadic verses such as Svetasvatara, which describe Brahman as the source of all powers, and Taittiriya Upanishad 2.5, which highlights its blissful nature, grounding this critique with a shared authoritative framework. All these things in very great detail in each of these verses we will be seeing in the Govinda Bhashya. That's why that is not being covered here. Now, the loss of personal identity. Mayavadins posit that once the illusion of Maya is removed, individuality ceases to exist. What they say, we are individuals till the time we are under Maya. And once Maya is taken away, then there is no difference between us and the Supreme Lord. That's what they say. That means both the soul and the super soul, they are the same. But as we know, they are same, yes, but that is qualitatively. Quantitatively, that is, there is huge difference. They cannot be the same. The individual soul is anu, only just a fraction. Now the critic refutes this by asserting that Jivatman maintains their distinct identities even while being part of Brahman. Mamaivam sajiva loko jiva bhuta sanatana. They are separate entities from what time? Sanatana, from eternally. They are separate. They have never become one, and in future also they will never become one. That is what our Shastras teach. That should be understood by everybody. And this perspective aligns with the teachings of Bhagavad Gita 15.7, which states that the Jivatman, though part of the divine whole, retains its individuality. The Mayavadin interpretation often uses nuanced language to describe individuality as apparent. However, this stance is challenged by the insistence on Jivatman's enduring uniqueness and personal attributes as integral to spiritual realization. But there is a great difference between what Mayavadis they taught and what the Vaishnavacharyas have taught. Now, material world is mithya. Brahma Satya, Jagat Mithya. Brahma is Satya and this material world is Mithya. That is what the Mayavadis say. But what is this material world? It is not Mithya. What we see, all these things, they are true. But how you can describe? They are temporary. They will not exist forever. Like in the spiritual world, everything exists forever. This material world, nothing is permanent. They will come to an end. Again, they will be recreated. They will exist for some time. Then they will be destroyed. This is what is the process. Before addressing the notion of material world as illusory, it is important to acknowledge the shared individual intuition present in both Mayavadis and other Vedic philosophies, the ethical call to transcend the ego and see beyond material attachments toward a higher spiritual reality. We should see the higher spiritual reality. And this common ground highlights a mutual understanding of the need of spiritual growth and the pursuit of truth beyond mundane existence. The truth is actually beyond, and when we look at the spiritual world, we will realize that. That's why this material world, it is not mithya, it is not unreal, it is highly real, but it is temporary in nature. The critic challenges the Mayavadin view that the material world is entirely illusory mithya. The argument is made that if Brahman is true, it cannot produce something false. This is very, very important argument. And more arguments we will see in the Govinda Bhashya. If the Supreme Lord is true, how can he create something which is false? The material world, therefore, cannot simply be dismissed as an illusion, but must have a valid existence within the context of divine creation. The Supreme Lord has created this for a particular purpose that should be understood. The temporary practices, the critic notes that Mayavadins regard practices such as the deity worship and chanting as merely temporary steps, because they said the Lord does not have any form, he does not have any attributes. Then how can he have the deity form? That means they criticize the deity form, deity worship. There is no requirement of deity worship by the Mayavadis. And chanting of the Supreme Lord's name is actually more powerful than the Supreme Lord. They also do not believe this. And they call it temporary towards realizing one's identity as Brahman. However, it is important to differentiate between devotion that is seen as provisional and that which is viewed as dispensable. This is what is the difference between the Mayavadis and others. And while some Advaitins may view bhakti as a preliminary step, others continue to engage in these practices throughout their spiritual journey. For instance, some Advaitins might follow the teachings of Shankara, who composed devotional hymns despite his impersonalist philosophy, indicating nuanced approach to devotion. And this diminishes the significance of devotion, which the critic argues is essential for true liberation and is supported by Vedic texts. As we know, whatever has been taught by Shankaracharya, that was for a particular reason, because what actually had happened at that point of time, people had drifted toward Buddhism, and the Vedic knowledge was lost because Buddha, he did not recognize the Vedas. He said, I do not recognize them. That's why the first thing what Shankaracharya came, he came and established the sanctity of the Vedas. He said the Vedas are there, but he misinterpreted that, because if he had said something much different, people would not have accepted it. That's why he said something which was similar to Buddhism. Why he said this? Because he also knew that later on the acharyas will appear in this world, in Bharatavarsha, and they will teach, and finally they will be purified by the Supreme Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Let us go to the next slide. The critic suggests that Mayavadins inadvertently place a Maya above Brahman by suggesting that it has the power to veil the divine. What the Mayavadis say? They say Maya covers the Supreme Lord. That means Maya is more powerful than the Supreme Lord. But how can we, with our common intelligence, we know that the Supreme Lord is most powerful and Maya is his energy only? Then how can Maya assert over or assert influence over the Supreme Lord? In the context of Advaita, Maya is often viewed as epistemic or empirical rather than ontologically real, serving as a cosmic illusion that veils the true nature of Brahman from the Jivatmans. The Advaitavadins, they misinterpret the Shastras, misinterpret the terms and terminologies by taking some portion of it. More of it will be clear when we go through the Govinda Vasya. And this distinction is crucial for understanding why Maya cannot genuinely overpower Brahman, the ultimate reality. Maya is a part or is a power of the Supreme Lord. It has been created by the Supreme Lord and it cannot exert any influence over the Supreme Lord. Now, those Jivatmans who are averse to the Supreme Lord, they are affected by Maya and not the Supreme Lord. That has to be understood very, very clearly. That means what the Mayavadis believe, Maya can exert influence on the Supreme Lord. This is highly wrong. It cannot be true at all. Go to the next slide. Selective interpretation, cherry picking. The critic claims that Mayavadis interpret the meaning of Vedic texts to support their philosophy, focusing solely on the impersonal aspect of Brahman, while overlooking passages that emphasize God's personal nature and importance of devotion. They say the Lord is impersonal. He does not have a personal form. That means he cannot be worshipped in the deity form. That's what they say. And there are, I will not take the names, but there are many beliefs, popular beliefs in the society, and they feel Krishna was just a prince, he was a great person. They do not consider himself to be the supreme Lord. That is not correct at all as per our shastras, because Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He has got all the six opulences and he has to be worshipped. And love for him is the devotional service which is most important a Jivatman should take recourse to. The example the Mayavadis often utilize interpretive methods such as Lakshana to expand or alter the literal meaning of the text. For example, Chandogya Upanishad 6 to 1, all these things we'll see in detail, how they use the wordings, how they use grammar, how they use the context, and they try to interpret that the Supreme Lord is impersonal in nature. Here the verse Sarvam Khalva Idam Brahma is typically used to underscore an all-encompassing Brahman, but the Mayavadins extend this interpretation to underline an impersonal aspect by employing Lakshana, showing a tendency to favor a particular philosophical outlook. They want to prove what they want. That's why everything they use part of the sentence, part of the verse, like we will see in very great detail later on. We are not going into details in this class. And this approach can make readers consider how certain interpretative strategies might lead to selective emphasis within scriptural exegesis. Now, they do all this, that's why they were able to win over some people, and those people were actually non-devotees of the Supreme Lord. Now, the thing is very, very clear. If one performs devotional service and loving devotional service, then one can reach the Supreme Lord, and there is no other way. Okay, go to the next slide. Adi Shankaracharya's true mission. Now, let us see this. The critic highlights that his later works began to lean towards devotion, suggesting that his original intent was not to establish the impersonalism philosophy as the final word, but to prepare the ground for a deeper understanding of God, a theme later emphasized by other acharyas. One may say Adi Shankaracharya, he was an incarnation of Lord Shiva, and Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava. And why did it is the wrong things in the society at that time? As I told you, this was to bring back the people who had converted to Buddhism toward the Vedic literature, because Buddha did not accept the Vedas, whereas Shankaracharya, he accepted the Vedas as the authority. Now, in conclusion, the critique of Mayavadin philosophy is highlighting its philosophical inconsistencies, misinterpretations of Vedic text, and diminishing of individual identity and devotion. He appears to reaffirm the value of personal relationship with God as understood in the broader Vedic concept. Actually, he taught devotional service only toward the end, but his disciples, they did not understand. And even as on today, if you go to his house, that time house in Kerala, there Radha Krishna, they are worshipped. From his time, he knew what was correct, but because it was the requirement of that time, that's why he taught that thing. Now with this, let us have a 2-3 minutes break, and in this break time you can clear any of your doubts, or you can have comments on whatever we have learned so far. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Wonderful revision. So, Prabhuji, like I'm still trying to understand how is the Achintya Bheda different from the other sampradaya, like for example Ramanuja. It seems to me all are same though. Like I'm still not able to get a
Yes,
pinpointed difference.
you are very right. They are almost the same, rather, they are the same with very subtle differences, which we will learn. It
Oh, they
will
yet to come.
come.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah, Prabhuji, everybody is taking a different attributes, and they are highlighting that attribute,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So, and so it's again, they view in different. For example, you see Nimbakar, he's much closer, like
Yes,
Vishishta Dvaita Advait, right? Which is really close to that.
yes,
So,
yes, yes.
yeah, and always we think that only Jiva and Ishwar, these only parameters, no. But Jiva's attribute, Paramatma, Ishwar's attribute, and in between comes also Prakriti. These three things are there, right? So, how you look at it, difference or similarity, and pick up one attribute over other, that decides.
Yes, like you see, all these acharyas, they are representatives of the Supreme Lord,
Yeah.
and they have come in a sequence, and that sequence has been meant for us to understand them correctly. And at the end, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he synthesized all the four. He combined all the four, as we learned. He took two things from each and he propagated his Achintya Veda Tattva. And what Sanjeev Prabhuji was saying is very, very correct. It is very difficult to find out what is the difference. There are subtle differences only. They are almost the same. There is no doubt about it. Okay,
So,
then we go to the next slide. The Vedic knowledge which Lord Brahma and his disciplic succession received by the mercy of the Supreme Lord Sri Hari is self-evidently perfect. What is given in the Shastras, that is totally perfect and that is totally correct. And this absolutely authoritative and exhaustive knowledge establishes with the help of its self-effulgent and directly perceivable truths the 9 principles of Prameya Tattva. The method of logical debate and speculation are incapable of correctly ascertaining the inconceivable spiritual subject matter. What the Mayavadis they do, they want to argue, they want debate, but this debate can establish nothing at all. And what are those? All these things have been taken from the Dasamula Tattva. Dasamula Tattva, that is a book written by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Okay, the first is Pramana Tattva, Amanya, that is various kinds of Vedic spiritual evidence as understood through disciplic succession. This word disciplic succession is very, very important. It has to, anything has to come from the disciplic succession. Then the Pramana Tattva, or the supreme truth. Then the Sarvasaktiman, Sri Krishna is the source and possessor of all energies, including Sri Radha, who is the spiritual energy, and Maya Devi, who is the material energy. But here to be understood, Maya Devi always stays behind the Supreme Lord, and it has no power to influence him in any way. Akhila Rasatma Sindhu, Krishna is an ocean of all that is Akhila, Nectarian, Amrita, relationship and sacred rupture. He is the supreme. And Vivinnam Satattva, both liberated and conditioned souls are his eternally separated and essential parts. The conditioned souls, we are the conditioned souls, we are in the material world. We have not yet gone back to the spiritual world. But those jivas who have perfected themselves and gone back to the spiritual world, they are in the spiritual world. But all these liberated and conditioned souls, they are different parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. It is not that the liberated souls, they become one with the Supreme Lord. No, that is not the thing. Then the Baddha Jivatmans, the souls that are conditioned by Krishna's illusory potency, Maya, they are the Baddha Jivas. And Mukta Jivatmans, liberated ones, liberated souls, are free from Maya. Maya has no influence. And not that when one dies, goes to the spiritual world, he becomes liberated. One can be liberated while staying in this material world also. Like we have heard so many examples of so many devotees, they have gone back to the spiritual world in their self-same body. Our self-same body is material in nature. With this, we cannot go to the spiritual world. But those who have perfected themselves, who have purified themselves, they can still go to the spiritual world with this self-same body. It has happened with many, many devotees that you know the names. Then Achintya Veda Veda Tattva, all existence is inconceivably one with and different from the Supreme Lord. They are the same and different. This is what he is saying in terms of his nature in quality, but not in quantity. As we have spoken, qualitatively we are the same, but quantitatively there is much difference, like the sun rays as opposed to the sun itself. The sun rays which are reaching this material world and for which we are able to see things, these and the sun god, they are much different. Like this, the super soul and the individual soul, they are totally different. They cannot be the same. And Suddha Bhakti, pure or unalloyed devotional service, is the only practice by the living entity can attain the ultimate goal of life. Ultimate goal of life can be achieved only by pure devotional service, which is not affected or influenced by jnana or karma. This is in very brief what is true, or the activities in that relationship. Then the Krishna Priti, transcendental love and affection for the Krishna, is the final object of attainment for a devotee or for the individual soul. This is the Prayojana Tattva, or the true goal of living entities described. Thus, we have learned the Sambandha Tattva, Avideya Tattva, and the Prayojana Tattva. This is as per the Dasamula Tattva taught by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Now, the essence of Vedic knowledge, the following the 10 milestones chart a path from doubt to Krishna Priti. Imagine a spiritual journey, a seeker's quest to uncover the profound truths of existence through Bhaktivinoda Thakur's teachings. This journey is marked by 10 significant milestones, each representing a key aspect of Sri Chaitanya's essential teachings on his Achintya Veda Veda Tattva. These are the various components, 10 components of the Achintya Veda Veda Tattva. One begins by grasping pramana, authentic evidence, understanding that the pursuit of truth is rooted in the teachings of the Vedas as received through Guru Parampara. And this initial step is crucial as it lays the foundation for acquiring ultimate knowledge known as Amanya. Consider it like relying on advice from a trusted mentor rather than unverified online rumors. The Vedas carry a special weight as an authoritative source. Here the seeker aligns with Vyasa's Vedanta Sutra and Baladev Vidyabhushan's insistence on Vedic support, enhanced by Bhaktivinoda's emphasis on the Vedas, transmission in disciplic succession, as seen in texts like the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. In the essence of what has been spoken till now, the Vedas are the supreme authority. And the Vedas, they end with what? The Vedanta. The end of Veda is Vedanta or Vedanta Sutra. And what is the essence of Vedanta Sutra? It is the Bhagavad Gita. And what is the commentary of the Vedanta Sutra? It is the Srimad Bhagavatam. In so simple terms, it is what it is. That's why if we have no capability to understand difficult Sanskrit, difficult Vedic text, then if we understand the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, then we have understood the whole thing. Now we will go one by one. The parampara, the pramana. Pramana means proof, refers to the methods used to obtain knowledge. It is like a reporter's fact checking on his story, relying on the Vedas and Guru Parampara to verify the truth. What are the pramana? Pramana are the Vedic literature which has come through Guru Parampara and nothing else. If somebody else had said, that is not to be taken. Okay, pramana is Vedic philosophy, refers to obtaining truth through the Vedas and the lineage of the spiritual masters known as Guru Parampara. Its applications is like a journalist validating a story by utilizing authentic sources such as the Vedic scriptures. This method ensures the accuracy of the truth for understanding reality. Suppose somebody is telling a story, then this source has to be authentic, very authentic. Otherwise, the story cannot be authentic at all. And this reflection can deepen your understanding on how personal belief systems form and they are validated. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu integrated two core principles from each of the four Vaishnava philosophies to present his own comprehensive understanding and vision, thereby enriching his own doctrine, that is Achintya Veda Veda, inconceivable oneness and difference. What all are two things from each that we have seen in detail. Next we'll see the Parama Tattva, the supreme truth, the highest reality. Now the ultimate truth is Sri Krishna, who is recognized as the supreme absolute truth. There is no truth which is equal to him or higher than him. This truth is transcendental and lies beyond the layers of tattva hierarchies, making Krishna the central focus of devotion and the source of all existence. And this is transcendental, spiritual, and not material, because anything which is material has to come to an end. Whereas this, which is connected with Krishna, it does not have an end. In contrast, Advaita philosophy views Brahman as non-dual reality, a formless attribute, absolute. And by comparing these perspectives, one can deepen their appreciation of the diverse paths each offering a unique lens for understanding the nature of ultimate reality. Then Sarva Shaktiman, all powerful, Krishna's omnipotence. Krishna is the possessor of all divine energies, which include both Sri Radha, that is the spiritual energy, Antaranga Shakti, and the Maya, the material energy termed as Bahiranga Shakti. Antaranga is the internal energy, and Tatastha is the marginal potency, and Bahiranga is the external uh, energy. And what is the hierarchy? The first is Antaranga, then Tatastha, then the Bahiranga. The Bahiranga, that is the external energy, is less powerful than the Tatastha energy. And the jivas, they are the Tatastha energies. But one may ask why they are a greater energy, they are more powerful, and why they are influenced by Maya. Because when they are averse to the Supreme Lord, then Maya takes over. That is what is the explanation. Now the principle highlights that Krishna not only the creator but also the sustainer and controller of all energies in the universe. In our everyday life, we can connect with Sri Radha's energy by recognizing moments of unconditional love and compassion, feeling the warmth and inspiration that naturally arise. Conversely, when we find ourselves distracted by material concerns and superficial desires, we can see Maya's influence, illusory influence, promoting us to seek balance and spiritual focus. When we go away, Maya attacks us. Maya is always trying to find a way, find an opportunity to exert influence over us. Therefore, when we are separated from the Supreme Lord, even for a few moments or a few minutes or few hours, then Maya exerts influence on us. And this has to be understood very clearly. Then the Akhila Rasatma Sindhu, an ocean of all relationship. The phrase depicts Sri Krishna is the source of emotional and spiritual experiences. Imagine the comforting sound of Krishna's flute resonating through a moonlit forest. It is in these moments that the essence of divine relationships and sacred joy can be truly felt, as every creature instinctively drawn to this transcendent harmony experiences the inner awakening and ecstatic rapture. Krishna is described as an ocean Sindhu of nectar, Amrita, relationships or sacred rapture, that is rasa. This emphasizes that all varieties of love and devotion flow from him, illustrating the richness of spiritual experience available to the devotees. To the highest form of devotees like the gopis of Vrindavan, the highest form was available. And they could relish this and nobody else, not others. That's why if one transcends to that level, then he will be able to experience all these things which come directly from the Supreme Lord. One can hear even the sound of Krishna's flute even today, but others cannot do that. Then Vivinnam Sajivatmas, different classes of eternally separated Jivatmas from Krishna. With this understanding of Krishna as the source of rasa, we can now explore our own place within this divine framework through the principle of tattva, the relationship between the individual soul and the Supreme. Both liberated, mukta, and the conditioned, baddha jivatmans, are considered eternally separated parts of Krishna. While the baddha jivatmans forget Krishna, overwhelmed by the illusions of Maya, the mukta jivatmans, that is the liberated jivatmans, remember him in every breath, free from material bondage. And this relationship signifies that all souls are intrinsically linked to the divine. Yet may find themselves in different states of existence as they evolve spiritually. Recognizing this intrinsic connection, individuals can embark on a spiritual path that emphasizes personal growth and self-awareness. Try chanting the Hare Krishna for 3 minutes daily as a practical step towards shifting from Baddha to Mukta status. And this practice helps to purify consciousness and foster a deeper understanding of the spiritual identity, gradually guiding the soul towards liberation. A Baddha Jiva can also become a liberated soul by chanting the Supreme Lord's name and chanting it peacefully for him without any material gain or expectation. Then one will be able to reach that state at least one day. Now, Baddha Jivas and Mukta Jivatmans, Baddha Jivas, bound ones, trapped in the samsara, they are disillusioned by Maya. This state leads to suffering and ignorance, and they are trapped in the material world, experiencing the dualities of pleasure and pain. Krishna underscores the transient nature of material dualities and the importance of cultivating equanimity. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna addresses this consciousness, explaining that dukkha, suffering, and sukha, happiness, are temporary experiences that the wise transcend, as noted in 2.14. Dukkha and sukha, they come to us without asking for them, because they will come on their own. One does not have to make any effort at all. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearances of distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. Like the summer, winter, rainy, all these seasons, they come and go without our asking or trying for that. Like this, if there is any dukkha, it will go in its own time. And if there is sukha also, happiness also, it will also go in its own time. And it will keep on changing, and they arise from sense perception. And one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. That's why one should not be disturbed by these things, because they are they have to happen, and they will happen, and they are happening, and we have to bear them. And what about the Jivatmans? Those attain liberation from samsara, they have freed themselves from the illusory influence of Maya and are no longer bound by material existence. They experience spiritual bliss and unity with Krishna, signifying the ultimate goal of spiritual practice. What parallels can you draw to the bliss of the Mukta state? Now, only thing remember here, they do not become one with the Supreme Lord. They are still different. Now, this personal connection can transform these lofty spiritual goals into attainable realities, awakening a deeper understanding and aspiration within your present journey. Moreover, consider how your personal freedom might echo larger themes of liberation in society or environment. Just as individual liberation brings personal bliss, collective liberation can also lead to widespread upliftment and harmony. If everybody in the society gets uplifted, then it will be very, very good. Embracing this perspective, we can see the potential for societal change through shared endeavors towards freedom and ecological balance, aligning with the universal ideals of unity and sustainability. Go to the next slide. Achintya Veda Veda Tattva. Krishna is simultaneously one with and different from his creation. Srila Prabhupada says that introducing the principle quite succinctly as the one who knows God knows the impersonal conception and personal conception are simultaneously present in everything. That means God is both personal and impersonal, but personal aspect is more important, and that there is no contradiction. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya established the sublime doctrine. Analogy, the relationship between the sun and the sunshine analogies the relationship between God and the Jivatman. The sun and sunshine are not different qualitatively, but different quantitatively. There is great difference between proximity to a beam of sunshine and proximity to the sun. Similarly, the Jivatman is qualitatively similar to God as Satchidananda, but does not share Krishna's qualities to an infinite extent, as would he himself. Another conception of difference is non-difference is that Jivatmans partake in the consciousness and bliss aspect of God, but not the being aspect. Thus, Jivatmans are ontologically distinct from the absolute body of God. They are not the same, they are always different. And what about Suddha Bhakti? Pure devotional service. Suddha Bhakti is Buddha Bhakti is the only means by which living beings can achieve their ultimate purpose in life, to attain a loving relationship with Krishna. And this principle emphasizes the purity and sincerity required in devotional practices. If we are pure, if we are sincere, we will be able to achieve this very easily. Imagine a scene in a bustling temple where a volunteer, unnoticed by the throngs of devotees, quietly cleans the floor, ensuring the sanctity of the space. And this aspect of devotion is not done for recognition or praise, but from a deep, sleepless love for the divine. It encapsulates the essence of selfless or unalloyed bhakti, where the heart's purity shines through the ordinary deeds, transforming them into spiritual offering. Please don't think that only when you worship the Supreme Lord in the altar, that is the highest thing. It is not that. Anything in the service of the Lord, like sweeping the floor, making garlands, making food, cleaning the utensils, they are all as important as anything else, and there is no difference, no hierarchy at all in all these transcendental services. And Krishna Priti, love of Krishna, love for Krishna, this describes the ultimate goal of spiritual practice. It denotes transcendental love and affection for Krishna, considered the highest achievement in spiritual life. This love is characterized by selflessness or unalloyed devotion and the desire to serve Krishna, leading to eternal bliss. As you contemplate these teachings, ask yourself, what would it feel like to love without expectation? Would this be an awakening of Krishna Priti within you? If one is not asking for anything, one is not expecting for anything, then what one will get? One will get anything and everything which we cannot think of. That's why in the devotional service, do not ask anything from the Lord, because He knows what is good for us, what is to be given to us, what is not to be given to us at this point of time. So with this, I come to an end of today's class. Now the session is open for question and answers and your comments. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So exhaustive, this ever completing, we keep on discussing more and more. So only thing I'm just looking at Bhakti Vinod Thakur's Das Mula Tattva, right? So
Yes.
does it give the framework to look everything? That's how we have to see Das Mula Tattva?
Yes. About bhakti, about Krishna prema, this actually gives a gist of the Achintya Veda Tattva.
Okay. So, okay, gist of Achin Beda. So this is the so Bhakti Vinod Thakur he took out it's kind of framework, right? If any one of them, it should fit into one of the That's how we look all.
Yes. That is this book is also available on the website in the internet. If one gets time, one could read. And earlier also we have gone through the contents of this. Charu Prabhuji has already covered this.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Nice. You tried to explain so nicely. The again the difference between five we are talking four Vaishnava philosophies and fifth and you go in between, right? So sometimes we have to pay really attention to each word that you are speaking. Then only you can make a difference. And each philosophy of Vaishnava, their attribute is different. So we have to consider it little bit of complex. You need slowly understand each line. Yeah, nice,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
yes.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, wonderful class. Prabhuji, why the name is Achintya Bheda Veda?
Achintya Bheda, Achintya, it is simultaneously same and simultaneously it is different. Like the Jiva and the Supreme Lord, they are simultaneously same and different. Same qualitatively, different quantitatively. This is how this name has been given. Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva.
Achintya means it cannot be imagined.
Yes, it cannot be imagined. It is very difficult if somebody is this thing and that thing, both the things, it is very difficult to perceive that.
At the same time, Prabhuji, Lord is very beautiful. At the same time, he is very ugly also in the form of death.
Yes,
ऐसे भी
yes.
समझ सकते हैं प्रभु.
No, that may not be true. He is always beautiful, but we are not saying everything can be described. Only the existence of the Jiva and the Paramatma, that is the Supreme Lord, that is achintya, because they are simultaneously one and different. One because of the quality and different because of the quantity. That's all. It should not be taken to any other thing.
Okay,
It is about
Prabhuji.
the Jiva and the Iswara only.
अचिंत्य प्रभु जी जिसका कुछ वर्णन नहीं कर सकते, जिसके बारे में कुछ हम वर्णन नहीं कर सकते, वो
Yes,
कि
that's why it is given the name Achintya. It cannot be described, it cannot be conceived, it is very difficult to understand it.
So
Like
it's beyond thinking, sort of.
like somebody will say the good and bad, they are the same thing. How can you think of this concept? It is something like this. So that's why it is said that it is so difficult to understand. But yes, the devotees can understand this because they know what is how they are different from the Lord quantitatively, but qualitatively they are the same. These devotees can understand, but not the others.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Thank you so much.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी. प्रभु जी, जैसे 2.14 में बताया है कि सुख और दुख को ऐसे ही सहन कर, जैसे ठंडी और गर्मी है ऐसे
Yes.
सहन करना सीखना चाहिए. मगर सुख अगर आता है तो वो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता है, मगर अगर जैसे जैसे दुख आना शुरू होता है तो वो डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है. तो उसको मतलब हमें प्रभु जी दूर करने की कोशिश तो करनी चाहिए ना. अगर दुख आता है कोई भी तो हमें वी हैव टू मतलब ऐसा कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा, हम उससे ओवरकम हो सके.
Yes, that is true, but we should not be affected by that. We should not think that this disaster has come to me, it will destroy me, I have nothing left. There is no requirement to feel like that.
इक्वामेनिटी समता रखनी पड़ेगी.
समता रखना चाहिए. And
Yes, yes.
if you see sukha and dukha, what is sukha or pleasure? When there is no distress, we feel it is pleasure. But it is not actually pleasure. Dukkhalayam asaswatam. That
Yes,
is,
Prabhuji. It is a covering of all dukkha only. It is a covering
yes,
of a dukkha, which
it is covering up
happiness.
dukkha. This material world is full of dukkha only. And the Lord has created this. And He has brought us to here only to realize this and go toward Him. That's what His purpose. And we should fulfill His purpose.
Yes,
प्रभु जी
Prabhuji.
प्रभु जी बहुत कुछ ऐसा मन पर डिपेंड करता है, किसी के भी मन पर डिपेंड करता है। अगर उसको वो सोच लेते हैं कि ये तो जैसे एक ट्री भी है और उसकी शैडो भी है, तो ये ट्री होगा तो शैडो होगा। अगर दुःख है तभी तो सुख का हमें कीमत पता चलती है। अगर थोड़ा-सा भी डीपली सोचा जाए तो आई थिंक कि दुःख का जो वो उसका जो दुःख है, वो बहुत कम सीमा बहुत कम मतलब किया जा सकता है उसको।
See, that is very true. What is being taught is we should not get affected by that because it will go away without our trying also.
यस प्रभु जी।
But as Mataji was saying, we should also try to get over it, but we should not get influenced by it, thinking that we are totally gone and there is no hope only. There is no requirement of thinking like this because this will also go. Like you would have experienced in your life, there are so many dukkhas, so many distress, they come and go. Like what is given in the Bhagavad Gita, it is like the seasons in a year, summer, winter, rainy, like this. They come and go. They have to go. They cannot stay forever. They cannot stay for more time than they are required to.
यस प्रभु जी। इसी तरह अगर जैसे कोई हैप्पीनेस आता है, सुख आता है, तो हम उसके बारे में भी ये सोचें कि ये परमानेंट नहीं है, ये जाने वाला है। ये जाने वाला तो इसका मतलब दुःख आने वाला है, तो भी हमें वो ज़्यादा बहुत ज़्यादा हमें हैप्पीनेस इतनी ज़्यादा नहीं होगी कि हम बहुत ही खुश हो जाएँ।
Yes, yes, like you think of the gopis when they used to be in front of Krishna. Till then,
यस,
they used to be in distress because they used to think he will go away after some time. He will not stay in front of us forever. Like this.
यस,
These are not permanent things. They are very temporary. And we have to understand that thing. That's what the Bhagavad Gita is teaching us.
यस।
Any other point or question? No
प्रभु
points, no question. Yes, yes.
a question regarding the last chapter, this Bhagavad, this lesson number 158. एक ट्री पर जैसे दो बर्ड्स बैठे हैं, एक सोल शो करता है एंड एक सुपर सोल। तो अब ये कहते हैं कि सोल भी अंदर है इंडिविजुअल के और सुपर सोल भी अंदर है। ये चीज मुझे थोड़ा प्लीज क्लियर करेंगे?
Like see, in each of us individuals, the individual soul is there and the super soul is there. But what this verse is saying, this verse is there in two Upanishads. It says that the individual soul, he is busy in eating the fruits of the tree, and the super soul, it is not enjoying the fruit of the tree. It is just looking at what is happening. So that is what is the difference. Because the individual soul, the jiva, Baddha jiva, it always tries to satisfy the senses. That's why it gets into problem. But it is not learning from the super soul. The super soul is always happy because it is not expecting from anything, anything or anybody, and it does not want any gratification, sense gratification. That is what is to be learned from the super soul.
प्रभु जी, लेकिन सोल तो एक ही हो गया, एक ही होगी ना इंडिविजुअल के अंदर, वन सोल होगी ना एक इंडिविजुअल के अंदर। लेकिन जब हम कृष्णा कॉन्शियस में आते हैं तो वो दैट इज वो हमें थोड़ा सा अंडरस्टैंडिंग हमें हो जाती है, अवेकनिंग होती है। लेकिन अगर हम
always, whether it is human being or an elephant or an insect or a bird, the super soul is there and the soul is there. Both the things are there in the in the jiva.
both the things are there.
Yes, yes, whether he is a devotee or non-devotee. In Kansa also he was there, and in Sisupal also he was there. Like in the demons he is there. He is there in all the living beings.
Super
Yes,
soul
super
means
soul.
Paramatma.
Paramatma, yes.
Yes.
Kshirodaksha Vishnu, third form, Vishnu form. Kshirodaksha Vishnu is a Paramatma in each and every one heart, Mataji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, what we have learned that soul is eternal and it never enjoys the karmic results. How then the soul is eating the fruit?
You see, what is the problem is when we, instead of understanding that we are the soul, we understand that I am the body, I am doing this is my house, this is my property. Because of this understanding, the soul is suffering. The soul is suffering because of this. Otherwise, the soul has nothing to do. Once we believe, we have faith on the fact that we are the soul. Like you said, the example of Haridas Thakur, he was beaten up in 22 marketplaces, and that much of beating, nobody can ever take it. But he was a great devotee, and for him, he was the soul. That's why any affliction to the body, any punishment to the body did not affect him. That's why he was not feeling that he was being beaten. So that is what is the difference in very short.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Any other question or comment?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, wonderful class. And as the Mataji said, so many important takeaways. Even the the last thing you mentioned, that sticks with me, that let's not ask anything from Krishna ever. He knows what we want, he knows what we like, he knows what is good for us. So it's a good relief, right? But we keep asking this, that. But best is don't ask. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Prabhu. Very
Always
nice.
remember this shloka, Save Pumsa Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Adokshati. Ahetuki Apratihata Yatma Suprasiddhi. Daily change these words, Prabhuji.
Yes. Anything we want then, Krishna, but best is not to ask. He will do.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
So,
Krishna, Mataji.
just I would like to address that question about how come that super soul and soul are in the same body. Mataji asked
Okay.
this question. So actually, when we have to understand super soul, see, body is given to us by the super soul only. That means by Krishna only, but through the agency of Maya. So Maya has created one body, let us say. Okay, so this body has been given to us. And now in this body, the Lord is so kind. He is coming and staying in this body. For what? Even if the Lord doesn't come inside the body to stay, the body is actually dead matter. His body is like jada, and when the Lord comes and he is the one, like for example, when we are breathing, where even the soul gets energy to float in the body, that also is provided by the super soul. Means everything, even aham vaishvanaro bhutva, that means Lord is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, I am the one in the fire of digestion. So I am everywhere inside the body also. The Lord is only arranging everything for the soul to survive in the body, and the body is made comfortable for the soul to survive in that body. So for that, it's also the super soul is helping. Super soul is there. Super soul is there, present in any abominable bodies we take, also in any demigod body also we take. Super soul is always with us, and he is not only providing for us, taking care of us in the body, and also he is also guiding us in our journey towards him, back towards him. Because this body which has been given is actually a dead matter that we are not understanding, and thinking that what are the fruits that the bird is trying to eat. It is the good fruits and the bad fruits, the bitter fruits, and that is the papa and punya are giving some kinds of, like when we do some activity, it is either papa activity or a punya activity. So when there is papa activity, there are fruits of the bitter fruits, you can say. And when we are doing punya activity, you get sweet fruits. So the whatever activities we do, there is a reaction. So those reactions of our sinful and pious activities are the fruits, and that bird is eating these two kinds of fruits. Sometimes it is bitter, sometimes it is sour, sometimes it is sweet, and in this way, the bird is enjoying these and suffering these fruits. And the super soul is simply watching this, what is this body, this soul is doing with the help of this body which is given to him. He is doing this, simply doing the same thing, eating these two kinds of fruits, sweet and bitter, and then he's suffering and enjoying, suffering and enjoying. So the super soul is trying to think, why is he so engrossed in eating these fruits? Why is he not looking towards me? When he looks towards me, I will make sure that he comes out of this entanglement of this body, these fruits and everything, and then he will be with me, knowing very well that this body is a dead matter. So this is the answer to your question, Mataji, which I felt. I don't know whether I'm making any sense to you.
Yes, no, you have said very rightly that this physical body is already dead. It is by
Mataji, one point also, okay. Self-realization process means this only, okay. We have to look towards the Paramatma and internal journey. Then Paramatma will catch our hand.
Yes, right.
yes.
We have to turn our face. That is our main
Yes.
business.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you,
And
Mataji.
even when we are not in the self-realization process, and if we are in the only material world, we are enjoying in the sense gratification world, then also Paramatma will catch our hand and give other body in the gift, second gift.
Yeah, according to our
Yes, Mataji.
actions.
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
correct. Correct, Mataji. So all we have to do is from Bahirmukh, we have to become Sanmukh. Bahirmukh means we are turning away from the Lord, and Sanmukh means we turn towards the Lord. This is the only fault of the soul. Only fault of the soul is it is Bahirmukh. अनादि बहिर्मुख जीव भोग वांछा करे निकटस्थ मायतारे झपटिया धरे. This is from the CC. So when you are bahirmukh, when we are bahirmukh, when we don't turn towards Krishna, then that is the only fault. So not that we are doing sinful activities, pious activities, dvaite bhadra bhadra sakali saman, ei bhalo ei manda sava manodharma. What is the meaning of this CC verse is that in Dvaita, that means this material world is Dvaita. Dvaita means duality, good, bad, evil, pious, and like this. All these are dual, no? Dvaita. So this material world is full of Dvaita. So when we are fully engaged in this Dvaita world, here actually speaking, Dvaita Bhadra Bhadra, Abhadra and Bhadra, that means good and bad, are Sakali Saman. They are same, equal actually. Why? Actually, it is non-dual, no? The spiritual world is non-dual. Spiritual world does nothing like this. Only material world has duality. So when this duality becomes non-dual, that means it becomes a spiritual world when we go to the spiritual world. And here it's only a bhalo, this is good, a manda, this is not good. This is just manodharma. This is only mental speculation. This is mental thing. Actually, we are living in this world thinking that this is good, this is bad, I'm enjoying, I'm suffering. Actually, I'm not doing anything. Why? Because I'm a spirit soul. I am Anandamaya के साथ. I am already always Ananda in Ananda only. But because I am identifying with this material dead matter, that's why I am thinking that whatever happens to this dead body is happening to me. I am feeling back pain, head pain, a headache, and I am feeling giddy, I am feeling nauseous, I am feeling all these things are what? This has nothing to do with the soul. Everything is happening to the body. But we are thinking this is happening to me, and that is the problem. So when we come out of this bodily concept of life, then we become sanmukh to Krishna. When we look at Krishna, when we look at the super soul within us, that is our journey. That is our journey will begin. The Lord will guide us back home, back to Godhead.
Yes, thank you,
Ma-
Mataji, so much.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Any other point or question? If no questions, then we can conclude the class with the Nrsimha prayers.
I can do.
Okay, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlad Prahlad Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha Shilatanka Nakalai Shilatanka Nakalai Tu Narsimha Pare Tu Narsimha Tu Narsimha Pare Tu Narsimha Yato Yato Ya Mitato Narsimha Yato Yato Ya Mitato Narsimha Bahi Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha Bahi Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha Narsimhatin Sharanam Prapade Narsimhatin Sharanam Prapade Tavakal Kamalavari Nakam Atputa Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Nobringam Deshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hari Jaya Jagadish Hari Jaya Jagadish Hari Tavakal Kamalavari Nakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Anubhringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hari Jaya Jagadish Hari Jaya Jagadish Hari Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev Simhadev Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gaur Hari Bol Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev नरसिंह भगवान देव की जय भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जय गौर निताई की जय प्रभुपाद की जय गुरुदेव की जय भाई की जय, सर प्रभु की जय, संजय प्रभु की जय, और assemble all devotees, माता जी and प्रभु जी की जय. Please bless me. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you, Prabhu
Thank
ji.
you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you,
Thank
Thank
Prabhuji.
you,
you.
Mataji.
Dandat pranam to all devotees.
And welcome to all
Dandat pranam.
devotees.
Thank you,
Then-
Prabhuji.
We hope कि चारू प्रभु जी की तबीयत बराबर होगी.
Yes, yes. Then we meet tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow. Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.